Oh my god, guys, guess who's back with like actual quality audio and a nice setup again. Do you like my shirt? This is like my favorite shirt and it makes me so confident because it's such a nice fit, and like I like to wear it with sweatpants because I think that's so cute. Anyway, um, to start off this video, yeah, this shirt makes me confident, and that's really nice to have when you have body dysmorphia like I do, because if you read the title of this video, then you know that I have finally decided to do it, and it's a little bit scary, and I just want to explain to you guys that if you read the title, this video is in no way dieting advice or weight loss advice or anything. No, go away, there's a notification, sorry. Anything to do with how to lose weight. This is not the video for you. This is not the video that we do not advocate disordered eating or diet culture or anything here. This is just my experience, strictly my experience of going from going as an overweight person into having lost weight, and it's been like that for me for about 2 years now, and I still struggle. I have to remember to breathe away from the mic. God, I'm so bad at this. I still struggle with a lot of issues, and I struggle with a lot of body dysmorphia, and that's one of the main reasons why I get on here and I'm like, hey, here's my belly, here's my love handles, because your girl's been through it. I used to weigh 224 pounds, I believe, was the largest that I ever got. And I'm not going to disclose my weight now because I don't think that that's necessary, and I would never, ever, ever want to make anybody feel bad, because I have absolutely no issues with people who are larger. I lived that way most of my life. Most of my family is overweight, but like, in no way do we body shame, or anything here. Like, that being said, let me get back to it, because I'm really nervous doing this, because I don't want to, one, upset anybody. Two, I don't want anybody to upset me, because like, I've been through the shit with this. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm gonna get to that point, so I'm not gonna spoil it. But basically, I was a big kid. I was like, not only really tall, but I was pretty chunky, and my family always called it baby weight and said that I would grow out of it, and I grew, but continued to like gain weight. I remember being 11 years old and weighing myself on the scale. Don't recommend it. Don't get a scale or weigh yourself regularly. If you do want tips, that's like the only tip I'll give you. Scales are bullshit, and they make you feel bad about yourself no matter what size you are. But I remember weighing 182 pounds when I was 11 years old, and that killed me, because most of my friends were small, like my cousins and shit were small, so I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And when I got into high school, I dealt with some disordered eating, I think, as any teenage girl in the early 2000s did. I mean, look at the way we lived. The magazines and the celebrities and heroin chic and things like that were just rampant. I think any girl who consumed that culture probably had that issue. So that was a big thing. But I was still a big kid, and like, I didn't get skinny until I went into high school and dealt with my bout of disordered eating, anorexia, and all that, just like any kid. Me and my friend would talk about it. It was very normalized. It was very like, oh, I'm not gonna eat, and that'll like, we knew it was wrong, but also things back then were so different. It was just like, oh, girls don't eat. Like, that was pretty normalized, and like in my school it was pretty normalized, and in the media and on places like the internet. So that was a really weird time. This was before Tumblr, though. This was like right before Tumblr. When Tumblr came around, that was a whole other thing, and thankfully I was out of that, because when I was dealing with my disordered eating, my parents caught on really quickly, because I'm very tall. So when I dropped that weight, it was like immediate. I have no photos from that time. I used to have one photo in a Walgreens bathroom, and I remember what I was wearing a Panic at the Disco shirt, I believe, the one with the blue and purple elephants on it. If you know, you know. And some like plaid shorts that matched. And I took like a mirror selfie, and you could see these bones from my arm like really bad, and you could see the bones in my knees really bad, like the same, they were like jutting out, you know, like bulbous out of the rest of my arm. And I was just 14 there. And so my mom was like, I like came home from school one day, or I think it was in the summertime, because it was like between middle school and like summer going to high school. So I was like, girl, you gotta get your shit together. You gotta be pretty and like skinny. And my mom sat me down and was like, listen, we're going to go to a restaurant. We went to Perkins because we used to do that all the time. She's like, we're going to a restaurant. You have two choices. Either you go and you eat a full course meal, whatever you want, and we talk about this like a family, or we're going to admit you into the hospital tonight. And I'm terrified of hospitals, so obviously I ate the food. And that issue kind of went away. And my weight was pretty sustained for a few years, and I was very happy. I was at what, like someone, an adult my height, because again, tall kid, an adult my height would be that average weight. So I was comfortable with that. I was comfortable in my skin. And that was really nice for a few years. And then I turned 18 and I got a job at McDonald's, and I took the birth control shot. That's what we'll call it. And I do believe that was a heavy factor into my weight issues, because I had my period for a few months after I'd started it, and every time I'd get my period, my chest would grow, and I would gain like a few pounds here and there, and that just kept going and going and going, and the next thing I knew, I had gained like 30-40 pounds, and I was around 200, and that was really hard reaching that point, being at 200 for me personally. Again, please don't take any of my personal preferences or struggles to any offense to yourself. Like, body size and weight, it's all a spectrum, and it all depends on us. This is all extremely personal. I would never, again, I sound like a broken record, but I've lived it. The last thing I want to do is hurt anybody for their weight, so the number does not matter. Anyway, that was really hard for me. And so around like 18, 19, there's hair in my eye. Around 18, 19, I really started trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna be serious about weight loss. I always was as a kid. I would try to do exercises and like diet. I had a really bad soda addiction, which is a thing, and I will advocate for it till the day I die. I still really love soda, but I'm insanely careful with it because I used to be addicted to Mountain Dew. I used to be a gamer girl. I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft, and Mountain Dew was my go-to. So that's just liquid sugar. But anyway, there were a lot of factors, and I really think like working at McDonald's, eating the fried food every day because I worked full time and like came home and gamed. It was very much that lifestyle, that like gamer bro lifestyle, and it took a huge, hello, that's Bonnie. It's usually Tails in the video, but today we have Bonnie, and she's really annoying, and she never stops meowing. So, she's still my baby. Anyway, so, you distracted me. You distracted me. Oh, she's gonna hate that I have lip stuff on. Ugh. Anyway, that was really hard, and I dealt with that for a long time. I was bigger in my life longer than I've been thinner, because I was thin when I was a little girl. Thank you so much. I was thin when I was a kid, and then this is really cute. I can't lie. Like, that's adorable. Yeah, I've been bigger more of my life than I have been small. So, leading up to that, I gained the weight, and I was over 200, and that's where I stayed from 18 years old. And I really caught on to that when I took a photo with my ex-boyfriend. His dad got a new motorcycle, and he's like, hey, will you guys stand in front of it and we'll get some nice pictures, because he wanted to hang them up. And in the picture, which I was not confident with pictures, and I was like, growing into a new style because the emo style died out, and I was trying to like fit in, so I had this maxi skirt and this spaghetti strap shirt on, and my face was just literally, which makes me really insecure to do. There's the other baby. Really insecure to do, like, it was literally, which I can do now, even though, another thing we'll get to. I'm surrounded by pussy. Anyway, stop. No, you can't dig your claws in while I'm trying to film. No, that's a no. Anyway, okay, guys, I'm so sorry. Unhinged cat hours. She's gonna start giving him a bath nonstop. So that's when I really noticed, like, that I had gained a significant amount of weight and was so insecure about it. So, like, for those years, I didn't take anything but selfies and, like, perfectly curated body pictures. I edited a lot of my pictures, which I had done from the MySpace days and Photoshop until then, and I would, like, you know, sometimes edit my body, and it stayed that way after I stopped working at McDonald's. I stayed that weight. Active jobs, active full-time jobs, I didn't lose any weight. Literally for years, it was stagnant, and I was over 200, or I would gain a little bit of weight and then maybe lose that weight back, but I never went down, and that was so hard because it was literally from, like, age, I'd say 17 or 18 until 2 years ago. Like, literally 2 years ago, I'd stopped the birth control so long ago because I had read, I did it for a couple of years, but I read it was insanely bad for you. So now, like, personally, I just use contraceptives. I don't like anything going into my body, hormonal or otherwise, birth control, because, like, if you read, and I'm not hating on medicine here either, this is not that kind of channel, it's just if you read about the shot that I used, there's some alarming information in there that my doctor didn't tell me that was far into the long CVS receipt spread of the instructions of it, and I just, like, couldn't do it anymore. So that didn't change my weight. The only thing that did, this video is getting long, shit. The only thing that did, I hope you guys like long form content. This one's gonna be longer. I'm sorry, it's already over 10 minutes, and I'm not even into the, like, nitty gritty of it. So, anyway, what changed? Can you stop licking your butt in my video, sir? Anyway, for the millionth time, I stopped, like, I got to a weight, and I just looked at myself. Oh no, I remember exactly what happened. I went clothes shopping with my husband, because we do that like once or twice a year. We go thrifting and we get, like, some clothes for summer or winter. I can't say anyway again. Okay. So when I went with my husband, we went to 4 different shops. We went to the thrift store. We went to a clothing store next to it that's, like, really awesome and cheap and has a lot of cool styled stuff. And then I think we went to, like, Walmart and another store, and I couldn't find anything that looked good, that felt good, that made me feel confident, and I felt so fucking bad. And that's not just on me, that's also on fashion, and maybe I'll talk about that sometime, because plus size fashion, it's literally a joke, and it's better now than it's ever been, but it's still just crazy the shit that they think plus size people want to wear when they just want to wear what everybody else wants to wear, right? And I couldn't, no, that's, okay. So, yeah, I couldn't find anything, and I had a huge breakdown, because we chopped all day and, like, got my husband, like, some shoes and some clothes, and I broke down crying in the car to him, and he's just, like, always been so supportive. He got with me when I was bigger and has consistently loved me at any size that I've been, and been insanely supportive. So he was like, listen, you know, whatever you want to do, I support. I'll work out with you, I'll exercise with you, whatever you need. And I did try all that stuff. I see. We put her in another room, so okay. But I tried. I tried exercise, I tried weight loss, and it just didn't, nothing clicked. Like, nothing I did worked. And what really started was one day I was just like, I need to look at my relationship with food, how much food I'm eating, what I'm like drinking that's empty calories or consuming. And I pretty much cut sugar out of my diet completely, to a degree. Like, I would still enjoy sugary treats, but only, like, I would save the sugary treat for the one day a week, or things like that. Like, I just didn't consume sugar the way that I had been through soda or cakes or ice cream or food, like anything like that. I just stopped eating sugar, and I just genuinely ate healthier foods, and I know that wouldn't work for everybody. um, Clearly I'm not the healthiest person in the world, but yeah, I watched how much I ate. And that's like really important, I think. Again, not an advice channel, but that's how I did it. I watched what I ate, how much, because in America we tend to have like a very much overconsumption mentality when it comes to meals and serving sizes and how much you need and how many calories you need to take in and what kind of calories you need to take in. I don't calorie count personally. I don't weigh myself personally, but that's what did it for me, was just eating better and not having any sugar. And I started trying to drink more water. I'm still really terrible about water. I'm making coffee right now, but I've also been trying to chug water today. My camera's flashing a little bit. I need to turn the autofocus or whatever off. But now you're caught up about my whole entire history, so I can tell you what it was like being plus size versus what it's like now. And there is a massive difference that I could spend like a whole series talking about, because the first thing I noticed was, having been bigger before, that girl was like completely like gone. It's like she doesn't exist anymore, because people tend to not remember that you were that, or like they don't. It's just like, I've had people like try to call me out for thin privilege before, and those were just people I knew on the internet, like Facebook friends, and I very quickly deleted them because that shit was absolute bullshit. I was talking about thrifting and like fast fashion, because I'm very passionate about fast fashion, and not using it if you can help it. And that girl like came at me and said I didn't understand how hard it was for plus size people to find clothing that fit them, and I lived my life in not only thin privilege but wealthy privilege. And I was like, girl, not only do I live in a trailer now, I grew up in a trailer, and I grew up in a trailer as a thick little kid. So don't come at me with that. Like, people act like it's a big thing. Like, you, it's not that you want to be part of like a specific community, but I would never give unwarranted advice to anybody about weight loss. I would never tell anybody what they should do with their body. But people completely eliminate the fact that you were plus size. Now that you're thin, all those issues, those body issues, and this is not for everybody, but all those issues you had in the past, well, those just don't exist anymore, because you lost weight. So what's the problem here? And it's like, I deal with insane, wow, what a show. I deal with insane body dysmorphia. Like, when a plus size person loses weight, at least in my experience, I still see the same person in the mirror that I saw 4 years ago or 5 years ago. Like, it's, that's just how your brain is. Like, you don't see your body getting smaller, and there will be times you take photos and you're like, wow, I'm a different person. And there's other times where you just feel like you look exactly like you did and nothing changed at all. I've lost a significant amount of weight, and I still feel like that person. The body dysmorphia is really the worst here, because I had a very, like, it was like this. And again, that's hard to do because it's still here. Like, you see that there's still That's gonna be there forever unless I get cosmetic surgery. That's part of me, but it's better than having dealt with this and like every picture had to be edited and changed. And I don't edit photos anymore. I will edit, let me correct myself, filters, like color filters, or I don't really use Snapchat or anything for those kind of filters, like the ones that change your face. But like a color filter, like say an Instagram color filter, I use that shit, but I'm not in here like face tuning or changing my body. That was one of the first things I ever dropped. And my advice for you, don't edit your photos if you can help it. I cut that off years ago, and it's literally it makes me the happiest that I don't have to sit there and Facetune and edit and make myself fake it in this fake version of me and this updone version of me. Like, that shit was killing me mentally, and I'm so glad I let go of it. And hopefully you can too if you struggle with that. Not judging, just saying like the fake all that Photoshop Facetune, it's such a toxic road to go down. I just completely avoid it. So all of my pictures you see, that's my face. That's angles, that's lighting, that's makeup, that's color filters. No face tuning, no editing there. You can believe me or not, but that's just really how it is, because that's what's healthier for me, and that's what I like. Hey guys, it's Editor Tori, or Ghost, or whatever you guys want to call me. Please ignore the AC sound in this video. I tried really hard to make sure that it sounded really good, and for some reason you can hear the AC all the way from the other room, so we're gonna work on that. Sorry about that. Just ignore it, because I didn't know it was happening. I had a little bit of noise from the fan, but I think it's okay now. Yeah, so people completely just forget about your past, like how you were. Not that it's anybody's responsibility. What it would be nice if people remembered that like you did have that struggle, and you do still struggle with things, because like I love how I look a lot of the time. Everybody has insecurities, but it's like leading into the next thing, your body is not the body that it was before it gained the weight, and you don't lose weight and become like perfectly athletic and then like there are things that you struggle with that will be there forever. There's skin. One of the major things that I noticed more recently, really, I'm so sorry guys, I have a habit of, it's like you know it's like a comfort thing. I constantly mess with my hair. I'm trying to work on it as to not annoy the shit out of you guys. But having emo hair is really annoying. And then I'm constantly like, I do this thing a lot as like a, just a tick kind of thing, I guess. But, what I was gonna say is, I used to look way younger when I was like bigger, right? I had a round face. And I think my face is still pretty round. It's a nice face shape. But when I lost so much weight, the skin gets looser, and I'm not like 19. Maybe if you're a teenager and you lost a lot of weight, you wouldn't deal with as much loose skin. But a lot of people will talk about loose skin here, which I have, or loose skin on your thighs, or maybe your sides, or your chest kind of like sags. All those things are true, but like my face changed so much when I lost weight, and I enjoy that. I love that I can see a lot of features now, but things sunk down and it aged me, and that's the reality you face from losing weight that nobody talks about. It ages you a little bit. It aged a lot of my skin, and I'm trying to make it better by drinking water and having a skin routine, but the skin loosened up and it doesn't have the elasticity it did before. It's been stretched out. Like, that's just part of it. I'm getting so hot because I have to have my AC off to do these. So I'll be back. Okay. So, yeah, skin sagginess, skin looseness, stretch marks, all those things. Cellulite you still deal with. Obviously, everybody has cellulite. It's difficult, and it's difficult to maintain. because it's a lifestyle change, like a lot of people say. It really is. Like, I can't go back to just the way I lived before, but I also have to be careful because there was a time when I started losing weight that I couldn't stop losing weight, and I was eating. Like, I was eating food, having my meals, enough food that I needed for the day, and so I started eating a little bit less healthy foods, and then it goes up. Like, you have to be insanely careful and curate and like know what you're doing in order to maintain like a plateau or whatever they call it, where you want to stop and you want to maintain that weight. Still working on that. And a lot of people, I think one of the biggest things, and like a little bit of a trigger warning here, is a lot of people really think that they can comment on your body and your lifestyle choices, which is kind of insane because eating disorders are not as normalized as they used to be, or like they used to be normalized, but it was like a little secret unless you knew about it, kind of thing. And nowadays, like, I've had multiple people, friends and loved ones, ask me if I'm eating, which to someone who doesn't suffer from the same issues that other people do with food, it comes off as so insane. Never have I thought it was ill intended. I think that people have good intentions, but they don't know how to bring those to the table. So they'll straight up, oh wow, you look really unhealthy and skinny. Are you okay? And things like that, like, they can really mess you up as much as calling someone fat. And I know, but hey, I was that. I'm speaking from experience. I've had people say both to me, and both are equally painful. My opinion, personally, is we shouldn't comment on people's bodies unless they directly ask for it. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh wow, you look so gorgeous in that dress. You look amazing. Your body looks so great. It's another thing to ask someone, are you okay? You look really sick. And family especially loves to come at me with that one. But I've had friends too, just very casually, nonchalant, like, are you eating food? And I'm really? Like, what kind of opinion do you have of my husband if you think that I'm not eating food? Like, a lot of these people have known me and my husband for 7+ years, and I'm like, do you think, like, not that he is controlling, but we're together all the time. Do you think this man would allow me not to eat? Like, that's crazy. I understand you can do things on your own, and there's things like bulimia and etc. But like, my husband is a very kind, caring person, and would never allow anything like that to happen without a discussion or some kind of solution. Like, he's just not gonna sit by and be like, well, my wife is dying, might as well just chill about it. Like, no. So that also seems slightly disrespectful to me. Again, I think it's coming from a nice place, but I also feel like unless there's some concrete evidence, it's kind of like cheating. It's like, unless you really have something to go on, don't call people out for that. Like, I could bring up some things, but I'm not going to bring up things because this isn't that. We're not a T channel. So, it's just, let's try not to comment on people's bodies unless it's like warranted and they want it, because that stuff can be insanely damaging. And I'm an adult woman, like, I'm not a little teenager with a very manipulative, like, you can manipulate my mind easily. I'm an adult. I know what it's about. I know it. I've seen the Tumblr blogs. I grew up in the 2000s. It's fine. Like, if I had an issue like that, it would be a different story, and it would go down very differently than it would now. No, it was just weight loss and maintenance and like, it took over a year. Like, it took a long time to lose that weight, and I didn't expect it to happen. There was not really any exercising involved, which I still don't understand. Still trying to get on to exercising to help, like, tighten my skin and make my body nicer. I want to have a healthy body. That's the thing. That's all I want. Personal goal. Um, when it comes to being attractive, 100%. It's not like, I don't spend a lot of time out, so it's kind of hard for me to gauge, but I feel like if I were to get a customer service job where I was working around people a lot, more people would be attracted to me. I get catcalled more. I get talked to by random men more than I did when I was bigger. Again, I'm like 5'11", so that's a little bit intimidating. Add weight onto that. Nobody wanted to hit on me, but nowadays, I'm thinner, and people treat me more like childish. I don't know if it's because I may look younger or men just think I'm like less intimidating, but they do treat me more like I'm a younger person than they did before, if that makes any sense. Like, talk to me like I'm a kid and shit, and it's very strange. That's a strange one. I don't quite understand that one yet. Let's see what else I wanted to bring up. I have no idea what size I am anymore. When I was bigger, I knew my size, and now that I've lost weight and my body can tend to fluctuate, I fit everywhere from like small size clothing to large. So, no clue what size I am, no clue what size pants I am. That seems to vary by brand and location and timing as well. A lot of this stuff's really like the personal, emotional. Like, that's what's important to me because I'm happy I lost weight. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm confident. I feel a lot better about myself. If you notice, I post a lot of pictures on Tumblr, and like sometimes I feel self-conscious about like sharing so many selfies because there's literal years of my life where there aren't photographs, and I kick myself in the ass for that because when I look back at me at the bigger size, I have nothing but love and respect for her. I don't have hatred for her. I went through absolute shit with that. It is hard. Listen to plus size people when they tell you it's hard. I'm not talking about like the toxic shit, but your friends, your family who struggle with weight. It's not just, oh, I'm fat, I want to lose weight, and then they go eat a burger. This is a constant battle. It's still a constant battle. I am more concerned about my body now than I was when I was larger. And I'm not saying that's healthy. That's not healthy. But that's the price that you pay. That's the price you pay. I feel I was very lucky, and I feel that I was very fortunate to have been blessed to have luckily lost weight. It's insanely challenging. It does not equate to your worth. Like, you can lose weight, be beautiful. You can gain weight and be beautiful. You can be confident. It's not value. They're not the same thing. And for me, it helped my confidence and my issues a lot. But I still struggle. I'm not going to sit here and act like I have a healthy mind when you and I both know that I'm insane. Um, it's like I ask for a lot of validation from my husband, but those are the experiences that I've had. There is a major difference. There is some like mental illness that comes with that. There's responsibility to your health that comes with that. There's responsibility to your nutrition and your mental health. Like, it is not just, oh, I lost weight, I'm a hot baddie now. Like, you don't get to live that life. And this seems a bit serious, but I'm so passionate about this because, one, it's not something that too many people get to experience, and if they do, it's really hard and challenging, and all you really see are the praise and the, oh, look at the transformation, the before and after. You don't see the in between. You don't see what people are going through with that. And just like, as someone who struggles with insane body issues, just don't say anything unless they want you to. It is so insane how much people think it's okay to talk to somebody because they've lost weight. And I'm just like, reverse those roles. And if I gained weight, would you talk to me like this? That's the biggest thing I want to take away from this video, is like commenting on bodies in 2023. Please be careful what you do, because it really can. I just got another message. It really can affect somebody. So just watch what you say. Watch how you treat your bigger friends. Watch how you treat your thinner friends. Not everybody is like starving themselves. Not everybody is doing unhealthy methods or toxic coping methods. Some people just really commit and like change their lifestyles to get to that point. And people work really hard and never get there, and that's a shame. I wouldn't give up. but I also wouldn't put all of your value into how attractive your body is, because I'm still, like, for me personally, still aging, still deal with issues. uh, Compared to back then, like, it really is crazy. It can really have an insane effect on your brain. So just be nice to each other, and please be nice to me. I'm very sensitive. This is not a question at all of talking about my body either. I would prefer not to be critiqued. This is not a like a shout out for compliments. Nobody has to come in and tell me I look so good compared to how I did, or I was beautiful before. Like, that's so sweet and kind if you want to do that, but it's not necessary. Save that for yourself, for when you need a boost, for when you need to feel good about yourself. Because, like, I'm doing good. I like compliments. I very much want to advocate for putting more worth into just what shape and size my body is, or your body is. So I hope this video was kind of informative. It's a little bit more serious, but I just keep thinking about it all the time because it's such a big part of my life, and there's not a lot of people to talk to about it, so I'm gonna come talk to you guys about it. And I'm gonna go before this plane overhead is too loud. So I love you, YouTube. Everybody, all body shapes and sizes, it's all fine here. So love yourself, and I will be back soon. Okay, I'm gonna go edit this insanely long video. I hope you don't mind. I love you. Bye.